This is Money on Main Street, and now it's time for our one-on-one chat with our featured CEO of the week. This week, it's Certified Financial Planner Henry Montag. Henry's a partner at Financial Forums. He's been in practice for more than 36 years. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Giovanna.
Now, today we want to talk about partnerships, and I knew you'd be the perfect person because for the past 6 years, you've been a partner in a firm.
And just like a perfect marriage partner, there's no such thing. There's also no such thing as a perfect business partner. But what you can do is just try to find out and rely on your own gut to see how similar or how alike or how different you actually are, and whether or not there's certain things that are must-haves and certain things that are can-haves. And you just got to make sure that your partner or proposed partner doesn't violate any of those important items that are important to each one of you.
What are the key questions?
Key questions for me is, can you trust this individual sitting next to you? Does this individual have the same work ethics? Does he or she have the same objectives, short-term and long-term? Does he or she have any hidden problems that you might not be aware of? In other words, being able to find out beforehand whether or not he or she might have a family situation, be it a divorce, be it a elderly parents, be it children, that might take his or her time away from normal business activities.
Now, we have general partnerships and limited liability partnerships. In a general partnership, because you're considered a manager, you can be responsible for the company's debts, whereas in a limited liability partnership, they can't go after your personal wealth. Is there any scenario where you're better off being a general partner?
Not that I'm aware of. Most attorneys have stopped using general partnerships many, many years ago, simply because, as you mentioned, the liability issue. And you're much better off being able to do a LLC or an LLP and be able to avoid that liability. There really are no other drawbacks.
Now, I was reading this fantastic article by Brad Sugars of Entrepreneur.com, and he was talking about partnership killers. He was talking about how conventionally speaking, you always think that, okay, it should be a 50-50 partnership. But he said it actually should not be. You should go for 60-40 or 70-30. And this reminded me of John Bon Jovi of the band Bon Jovi, because he said somebody has to be the quarterback and then somebody has to be the lineman or the receiver.
It's a problem, absolutely. On a 50-50 partnership, what happens if you have disagreements? There are always going to be disagreements, but what if it's really something important? Each have 50% of the vote, each have an equal vote. Who makes the decisions? There's got to be one person who, call it a managing general partner, or someone, as you say, who's got to be 60-40, but otherwise you're not going to have any movement, and something's got to give.
So how do you decide if both of you want to be the managing partner?
If both of you want to be the managing partner, look, I think it's important for people to be different. It's good to have one person be the inside and another person be the outside. Differences and opposites are good, but you don't want to have that person be so different that you're always dragging him or her along to try to get things done. There's got to be a natural give and flow. There's got to be that ease of working with the other person. And somehow when it comes time to put the money in, sometime when it comes time to take the responsibility, the extra work, there's going to be an individual that's going to decide for him or herself, I will be or you will be that individual.
And in our final seconds, quickly, what if you want your spouse to be a partner? Good idea, bad idea?
I know a few partnerships that have that have had a very significant, good time with the idea of being a partner, because there's a lot to talk about. If you can just get past that initial, I've got to see the person in the morning, I've got to see the person in the evening, I think there's more good than bad with having a spouse or someone who's close to you to be that partner.
Really? That's very interesting.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.